Hello everyone, my name's Christian Smedberg. I'm the marketing manager here at Holz-Her USA, and today I am privileged to be joined by Tom Strickfaden, our financing guru. Tom, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So for everyone out there who's watching that has not been engaged in machine financing through us, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Tom?
Sure. I have been in the equipment finance industry since 1987. Okay. I have worked with the Michael Weinig and Holz-Her agents, salesmen for probably 25 years.
All right.
I've known a lot of the distributors throughout the country for many years and have worked with numerous thousands of Weinig Holz-Her customers over the last 30 years or so.
Really?
Yeah.
So thousands of customers you've worked with over the last 30, how many?
33 years.
33
87.
years. Excellent. So a lot of experience there.
A little bit.
That's excellent. So Tom, can you tell those folks out there about financing? What does that process look like to a shop, to a manufacturing shop?
Sure. One of the questions that I get when I speak to a customer after a distributor has pointed out that they're interested in financing is, hey, I talked to my bank. My bank wants me to provide tax returns, wants me to provide personal financial statements. It's just all this paperwork. And so they get intimidated by the fact that, oh man, I've now decided to buy a machine and now I got to finance it. Going to my bank has been very difficult.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that we've done, and 95% of the transactions we do are done on a one-page credit app. Typically, when I send the customer the credit app, they fill out that credit app, they send it back in, they say, man, I wish I would have known it's much easier than I anticipated. It's not as difficult as going through my bank, who requires tons of information. So we eliminate that whole process.
Really? So it's a one-page app, that's it?
A one-page app, assuming we can have some type of borrowing history that shows up.
Sure, of course. And that shouldn't take very long for folks to fill out.
Basic information on a one-page credit app is a federal ID number, the name of the company and address. If there's a closely held company, the owner's name and address, social security number, right, and signing the bottom of the application.
Yeah,
literally takes you 3 minutes to fill out an app.
Wow. All right. So now, once that app is filled out by the shop, do they need to do anything else? Any other paperwork or anything like that, or now is it just in your court?
So typically, what happens is if they're buying a Weinig molder and the molder's $100,000, we'll just use that as a number. We'll send them a credit app. Either the distributor salesman will do it, or the regional sales manager for Weinig Holz-Her will do it. Right. Customer fills out that application. I get a copy of the quote. Typically, that application's submitted and a decision's made in hours or less. So typically, once we get an approval, that transaction is confirmed. We send a proposal exactly to the customer, letting them know what the rates are, what the payment structures are. And then at that point, they say, yes, go ahead with it. We then send them official documents for them to sign. Once they sign that, then we process the funding. So
the fact that it's a very quick process not only is nice because it's convenient, but it also gets machinery installed quicker, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, if you think about a customer that, especially now with all the delays in people getting stuff because of the PPP programs and the CARE Act programs, people are telling me they call their banker and it's taking them weeks, sometimes a month, to get any kind of response.
Wow.
We're able to get somebody an answer in hours or less.
So, Tom, when I was back in manufacturing, financing was one of those things where it is what it is. You had to do it, and I had kind of a naive view of it. Can you tell everybody how financing can actually act as a tool to help grow one's business?
Absolutely. I think back to that same situation when a customer has to call his bank and the bank is going to put a loan together. A lot of times the bank comes back and says, hey, if we're going to approve this, we're going to require 20% down, a blanket lien on all assets. They're going to sometimes take a longer time to get it done. The advantage of being able to use an outside financing, instead of going through their own bank, they don't have to have that blanket filing. They don't require we don't require deposit accounts. Typically, it's again, done with just that UCC1 filing. So
Right.
it's very simple. And
Yep.
once that order's placed, they can get that machine pretty much within 24 to 48 hours that it can be ordered and delivered.
Gotcha. So, with our current situation, obviously financing looks a whole lot different now than it did, say, 6 months ago.
Yep.
Talk to us about the current events. What should customers be expecting now?
Well, one of the things that we've done and we promoted is knowing that customers are needing equipment and knowing that this pandemic that we're going through, most of our customers are fall under the essential and they're still very busy. So
right,
we're able to process a one-page credit app where customers can get a machine now and we can do a 90-day or a certain amount of deferments. So they can order that machine, get it today, and not have to make a payment till, say, August or September.
So the machine could be installed, running product before they make their first payment.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And one of the nice things is not only we are offering those deferments to customers,
right,
but the rates that we are offering to customers, as long as it's a decent sized transaction, but even on the small ones we do, but you're looking at rates for customers today that are between 3.75 and 4.5, which
wow,
is in a lot of cases 8 or 9 times out of 10 more competitive than their own bank.
yes.
And
Now, with the banks, are they? I know they have a lot of work to do with all these other types of loans, grants, and all the stuff coming from the government. So, are they kind of preoccupied right now? Is it taking longer to just get a traditional finance situation through them?
most customers, they're saying it's taken at least 2 weeks to get a response from their bank.
Okay.
And then there's also something to consider because of so many banks doing deferments. Banks now have increased their cost of funds to cover some of these losses, and not all banks have done that. So some banks have, some banks haven't. So the cost of funds for certain customers, if they call their bank, they're looking at 4.5, 5.5.
Just because the bank's trying to cover something else.
Correct.
Yes.
So
right.
we're
right.
able to
Sure.
be able to offer much more competitive rates to customers.
Right. Okay. All right. So Tom, we have plenty of customers probably watching right now. They are busy, right? They are busy, and they're making progressive steps to improve their production environment. Sometimes that means getting a new machine that has to get financed. How do they get in contact with you, and especially how do they take advantage of those deferments that you were talking about?
Sure. So when you talk to your distributor or your salesman, the Weinig or Holz-Her salesman, just let them know that you are interested in some of to see the financing options. Have them provide you a one-page credit app, fill it out. The fax number and email numbers on the top of the application.
Perfect.
Sign it, send it in. We'll typically get your answer in a couple hours. It's really that simple.
That's very simple. So all of the Weinig Holz-Her sales folks have that app. They have flyers and literature about those promotions. Ask them about it. Reach out to us directly here in Mooresville if you want more information, or even leave a comment in the feed of this video, and we'll make sure we get to you. Tom, thank you for talking to us. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. We really appreciate working with all the customers and the distributors and salesmen. So we can help you. Just let us know. Feel free to reach out.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.